So we're in a mobile home park in Shaler, and I knock on somebody's door, and the nicest lady you ever met invites me in. And the first thing she says is, how do you feel about pit bulls? And I just kind of said, you know, at this point I've been doing this long enough, I feel fine about pit bulls. So she lets me in the house, and you know, she's breathing heavy, her husband's sitting there on the couch breathing heavy, and she looks at me and says, oh, Mr. Lamb, I'm so happy you stopped by tonight, but I just want you to let you know I won't be able to vote for you. And I said, oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I wasn't even going to ask why. She was so nice about it. The dog was kind of scaring me. I just wanted to go. So she said, yeah, I saw the TV commercials, and I know that Mr. Rothfuss survived cancer, and I myself have survived 11 heart attacks. So I feel like God probably brought him back for a reason, and so I'm going to vote for him. So what do you say to that, right? Even I couldn't come up with a response to that one. So I said, well, yeah, I understand. And then I turned and looked over to her husband, who I noticed was breathing heavy, and he had just come back from the hospital himself. And right there on his lap, he had this big blue book that I'm guessing somebody in this crowd has probably looked at before. It's called Medicare and You. And so he's sitting there looking through it, and I said, well, sir, that's an interesting book you have there. Are you looking into the Medicare program? He said, yeah, you know, it's almost finally time for me to enroll, and I really need it. I'm not feeling very good. I said, you know, it's the funniest thing in this race. We've actually talked a lot about Medicare, and one of the candidates in this race wants to cut Medicare drastically. So I guess, you know, your book would get a lot smaller and easier to read. But the other candidate wants to strengthen it and expand it and make sure it's there for you. And he looks at me and he goes, really? Which one are you? And I said, well, you know, I'm actually the one that thinks we should strengthen Medicare, maybe even drop the age a little bit so you can get on it. You could be on it already if we did things right. And he said, wow, that's interesting. And then he said, you know, that's good because I was a union teamster for 30 years at the Pittsburgh airport, and I just found out our pension checks are getting cut because the fund is struggling. And I said, you know, that's a funny thing too, sir, because there's this bill floating around Capitol Hill called Butch-Lewis Act, and it would strengthen all the union pension funds, but especially the Teamsters Fund. It would basically loan them some money the same way we did to the big banks in 2008, and they would pay it back over time. It's not a giveaway. It's taking care of working people when they need it. And one of the candidates in this race is a co-sponsor of that bill, and the other candidate has said he would never vote for it under any circumstances. And he goes, no kidding. Which one are you? I said, oh, I'm the co-sponsor, believe it or not. And finally his wife chimes in, you know, maybe God sent you to our house today to tell us. So don't ever forget that every knock door, every phone call, the things that you guys have been doing for generations, which you're now helping us bring to more and more people, they're what win us these elections. It's not the money, it's not the hype, it's not the media, it's what happens in all these living rooms. Thank you for doing it for me. Please do it for these guys. We'll all do it together for the next couple of years, and we'll repeat all the success next time. All right? Thank you.